Hey guys, Austin Maliolo here in the Hand Plan Studio, breaking down a little discussion on loading. Now, we want to talk about weightlifting within metabolic conditioning workouts and how we as coaches can understand to apply the proper stimulus to our athletes for a given workout. Now, traditionally speaking, we have three, maybe four types of loading within a workout: light, moderate, heavy, and then very heavy. Now, when we think about this, you think about a workout that we see on the hand plan here as hammer drill, which is for time of a 400-meter run, then 30 hang power cleans at 185 for men, 125 for ladies, and then an 800-meter run, and then 30 push jerks at the same weight, and then finish with a 400-meter run. Looking at this workout, it's a really good workout to understand loading and what it's going to look like for someone like myself and maybe my father, who's 63, and then maybe for someone like James Hobart's mother, Lucy, who's the same age. And if we were to do the same workout together, what would it look like? So as a coach, we need to understand what the stimulus intent for this workout is. Now, what might also be a good place to think about to start is, what does a light barbell look like and feel like? Light barbells within a workout are a little easier to understand. Think 95 pounds or 65 pounds for ladies. Think, 75 and 65 empty barbells, maybe even a 115 bar and then to like a 75 pound barbell for ladies. Something that you can cycle for lots of repetitions, something that we don't see any mechanical breakdown in the beginning of a workout. We're really worried about how fast we can cycle repetitions and how many can we actually go unbroken for. We're not worried about strategically breaking things up. We're worried about how long can we hold on for. So a light barbell is something when we think about workouts that we're really accustomed to, like a Fran, right? Where it's super light, super fast. Now, the movement does matter, right? If we're talking about a thruster, 95 pounds is going to be light. But from a deadlift perspective, think, it's going to be a little different, snatching and deadlifting. So Diane, 21-15-9, deadlifts and handstand push-ups. That deadlift at 225 is on the heavier end of light, maybe cusping into moderate, and that's going to be okay. But still, the thought process in this whole workout should be fast, so the barbell shouldn't be super heavy. And this is why now this dovetails nicely into the really challenging discussion on moderate loading. And moderate loading is something that when we think about the movement, the repetitions, and the athlete, right? So when we think about the workout that we just talked about in hammer drills, that we see 30 hang power cleans at 185, this is going to be on the heavier end of moderate, but it's not going to be super heavy. Okay? And the reason why this is challenging is because it's challenging to scale the athletes. What you want to think about here is, okay, I want to be able to do like 15 reps at this load. 15 reps at 185 pounds or 125, but that's a max effort. So now strategic breaking up of this barbell comes into play. It's not how long can I go unbroken, it's I know what I can do, but should I do it? So when we're addressing our class here, really giving them almost performance markers and checkpoints and what can you do with this weight? What we mean by that is, on the hang power clean, can you do a hang muscle clean? Would be like a 1 rep max type of muscle clean type of movement for today. And if you're like, oh gosh, no, it's nowhere near that, maybe it's too heavy. And there's going to be no perfect test because athletes' skills will differ, but almost giving them things to think about. Could you do 15 unbroken at this weight? And if you get the facial expressions from the athletes, you're like, never. Then maybe it's not the right type of barbell for today. And this is when we start to think about, now, for your more advanced athletes, they might know exactly what this looks like. But for someone like my father or James's mother, they might need more direction from you. Okay, what does this look like? Maybe I want you to do that first set of hang power cleans. I'd like to see you get a set of 10. But after that, the grip's going to start to go, so you're going to take a break, right? I don't want to see this in singles. I really don't want sets of 5. That's going to be too heavy, right? So again, the moderate discussion takes a lot of explaining with your athletes and then a lot of time in the loading phase to get them right. Sometimes our prove it rounds are something that can be really helpful. Now, a heavy barbell within a workout is something where, it's not a heavy day, it's within a metabolic conditioning workout. It's something that you can still hold on for a couple repetitions, but it's not going to be something that we're going to see major mechanical breakdown or failure of repetitions, okay? So if we were to make this hammer drill a heavy barbell, we maybe lower the reps down to 20 or even 15 and maybe up the weight to 205 or something like that, where now you're doing sets of 5 in a row. 5, drop it, 5, drop it, so on and so forth. Also understanding that the limiting factor might be the shoulder to overhead for some in this workout, right? So, and that's okay. So you might not hit the perfect stimulus for both if there's a massive skill discrepancy. But remember, the difficulty describes the need. What we mean by that is if a movement is more difficult for an athlete, it means that we need to spend more time there because it's a weakness. So it's okay if one of the movements is a little lighter or a little easier for us, if one will be more challenging. So we can always scale the weight to that most difficult movement because that's where we should probably spend some more time. So again, the heavier barbell is a little easier to scale because once it gets heavy, people get a little more nervous and they're going to look for way more guidance from you and understanding that, singles and lower reps are less intimidating. Now, if you get the very heavy within a workout, these are where we're going to see much lower repetitions, maybe per round 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, where you're going to see singles, where you're going to see a little more rest in between repetitions, and we see this from time to time, not as often, right? This is where you're going to see for you guys that nerd out on percentages, maybe around that 70%-ish of that 1 rep max of that respective movement is a good way to think about it. That's going to be heavy. It's going to challenge the athletes, but it's good to challenge your athletes once in a while to lift with a high heart rate, either within a workout or sometimes before or after. So again, hopefully this gives you a good idea of what is light, moderate, and heavy. But the biggest thing is we need in our loading phase, which you'll see in our lesson plans, an opportunity to go around and touch base with everyone and make sure they're where not only they think they should be, but more importantly, where you think they should be. Because just because they can doesn't mean they should. And that's going to really pertain to the light and moderate barbells, okay? So guys, work hard and have fun.